Hello, everyone. I'm David Alexander, the Reverend of Punk. I'm the founder of Mjolnir and the creator behind the Epic of Morgan and Pops, which you're seeing right here, right now. Now, this series is about to launch, but before it does, I thought it'd be fun to kind of show you my process of how I'm making the books. So, the comic is hand drawn, and all the books are currently being handmade. As you can see here, I start out by just flipping through my pages, doing a quick check, make sure everything looks good, make sure all these pages are in the correct order. I'm also using a 24-pound hammer mill paper. I could talk more about paper stock some other time, but that's just what I have found works for these. So then I get it lined up on this scoring board, and I'll fold it over. And I fold it over so the front cover comes up on the top, as you see. Then I do like a little diagonal motion with this bone folder here. Go over the spine a few times. Then we take this pointy end and go over the spine to really try to break it down. I like to go over it 3 times, and then I'll also flip it. We're going to do it again on the back. It's really tricky to get these books to lay flat when you're dealing with the kind of paper stocks that are on the consumer market, but you still want to break that spine and just get it as best as you can. Then we'll take it to a special booklet stapler. These aren't horribly expensive. They're like 30, 40 bucks or something. And I'll tap the edges of the pages to get those lined up. Now, I use my Mjolnir Comics logo to line up the staple, and then I will press it from the top. The reason I have to smack it like that is just my stapler is a little finicky. And then I'll pinch around the staple, make sure it's in there good and that the spine is still looking good. Then I line it up. I've got a parental advisory on the front cover, so that's where I'm lining up my other staple. Not an exact science, but we try to keep those staples relatively in the same spot. Okay, so once that's done, I'll take my book and I'll just go over with the bone folder again, just to press in those staples and try to keep that spine a little flatter. Again, not a perfect science, but it does help. And there we go. Those books are now stacked, and I can go ahead and grab my next set and begin the next book. So it can be a little tedious, but this is how it's done. Okay, so once I've got those all folded and stapled, they're going to go to my cutter. So I always line up the spine on the edge there, and I've got blue painter's tape marking out where my cuts need to go. So this takes what could have been really annoying and makes it more brainless because I'm not having to measure every time. And unfortunately, I have to press down with my knee because it'll slip otherwise. And I don't have a table that I could really like press down on, so it's a little annoying. But what you'll see me do is I always make the same cut in batches. So this is a 7¼ inch cut. My books are done to a 6x4 inch trim size. So I like to do them in batches of about 10 books at a time. Then we'll flip them over, and then we'll do the next cut, which is going to be our 6-inch cut. We want to line it up on that next strip of painter's tape right there at the edge. And there we go. And then we're going to press that down nice and hard again and get that cut nice and swift. There are paper cutters that can handle entire stacks, and they come with like a little device to press down on the paper so you don't have to do it yourself. They're just a little more pricey. So this one was like a $40 or $60 cutter. So this will do the job for doing one book at a time. And if you're just doing a small run of zines or something, this will probably be just fine for you. If you're going to do more volume, you'll eventually want to get a bigger cutter. This video is more to show you like the super DIY cheap way to do this. I do intend to get a booklet making machine eventually, but for now, this is the sort of easier way, I guess, in terms of cost. And then finally, I got to do the 4-inch cut right there. And there we go. We got our nice 6x4 inch book. And look, if you do a half letter size as the size of your comic, where you just take the regular letter paper and fold it in half, you don't have to cut it, but I do think it's better if you do, because you'll see that there's a little bit of the white strip sticking out from the cover, because when you nest the pages inside of each other, the outer pages have to go further than the inner pages. So cutting it just makes it look nicer and just gets a straighter edge. I think it's a better way to do it. So once all the books are cut, we're still not out of the woods yet. We've got to bag them. So I use these photo bags. These are acid-free, resealable cellophane bags. They're pretty cheap, but good quality, and I find them much better than your typical comic book bag. So These are already sized for the books, and I make sure that the flap is going to close onto the back of the book because I want the front nice and clean. So we always want the flap going to the back side. So I'll bag all of them before I bother sealing them just to make it easier. Batching things is just really speeds up the process from what it would be otherwise. And then once that's done, I can take the books and go ahead and peel that strip off. It's really funny, though. These strips, they get like static. They'll stick to you, so you'll see that throughout as I'm working on this. It's kind of funny that they just get stuck on you. And when I fold over the top, I'll try to line up just one side of it and then go across. I'm just a real stickler about trying to get those like super precise. It's not a big deal, but to me, I'm like that chef that's just super anal about wanting the presentation to be good. So I'll even re-stick it a few times until it lines up. Don't take that out of context. Or do, I don't care. Anyway, so that's the basic process right there to making the books. And right now, I've got several batches that are getting set up for a few local shops, and I will be doing an online shop as well. I just don't have a date on that right now. So I go ahead and seal up all these books, and there's one more step to this process, which is just preparing the launch bundles, because chapters 1 and 2 of the Epic of Morgan and Pops are actually releasing in tandem. The first sort of like fight scene action stuff isn't until chapter 2, so I wanted to put them both out together. And for people who order this launch bundle, whether it's you get it at the shops or you get it on the website when the web store goes live, you will get a bonus zine that you're going to see in a moment here when I'm packaging the books. Anyways, so we're getting toward the end here, but this is kind of a good overview of the process. Every single book is being made by hand. They're all just printed on a Canon image class laser printer. And the whole point of this is I can't find a print company that can print to my specifications, and you usually have to print a ton of books to get the cost down, so you're way in the red before getting going. Oh, there we go. There's those zines that I mentioned. So now I'm going to go ahead and bag my bundles for the shops. I do 5 bundles in those bags over there, so I get a chapter 1, chapter 2, and a zine. Line them all up and try to press the air out of them a little bit just to get them laying flat. And here's something that's just a good trick for storing comic books in general. Flip them. So you'll see that. Because you're going to have that spine bulge on either side, so flipping them like that just helps them keep a little flatter. Again, not a perfect science, but it does help. Plus, you start stacking them too high with the spine bulge, it's just going to tip over, and it just gets annoying. So this is just a good practice for dealing with comic books in general. So wherever you are and whatever you do, if you're interested in making comics, making books of any kind, if you just want to, write a story or something, this might be a great way for you to get started. And then I take my stack. We got 5 sets of books here ready to go for our shop. And these are going to go ahead and go into one of these bags. I'm taking 2 bags to each shop to start, so they're getting 10 sets of books. In the future, we'll be doing 1 chapter at a time, but right now, again, we're doing 3 books at the launch. That's just how I decided to do it. And I'll seal that and try to press the air out of it. Again, I just like it laying flat as much as possible with this system. And there we go. There's our bag ready to go, ready for stores, ready to upset the censors and the corporate overlords. Seriously, though, there's a lot with the online world and censorship these days, but you can still make books and get them out to the world, and I highly encourage you to do that. So that's going to about do it for this video, and as you can see, we've got chapters 1 and 2, as well as chapter 3 is already done, and chapter 4, and chapter 5 is already done too. I just haven't printed that yet, but they will be coming out soon, so stay tuned for more of the Epic of Morgan and Pops. And go ahead and subscribe if you haven't already. I hope you found this enjoyable and got something out of it. And I will see you next time. I've been David Alexander. You've been you. And until next time, Godspeed and rock on.